Hello and welcome to this demonstration video. What I'm trying to do here is to show off the level of progress that we managed to make in the connectors project of 2021. This was a paid commercial addition to Inkscape to add better connecting functionality, which sadly we didn't manage to complete because the project turned out to be much bigger in scope than we originally planned. But we did manage to get an awful lot done. So what we need next in the coming year is to find additional funding or additional help so that we can complete this project, get it merged into Inkscape, and hopefully eventually it'll be available in the standard Inkscape builds. Primarily the reason why it wasn't originally merged is because it's not stable enough. It's got a lot of glitches, a lot of design problems. Basically, a project this large requires a lot of smoothing at the end. So while we did manage to get a lot of the functionality, which you can see here, I've noted them down, they are insufficient, I would say, for a complete release. So the connectors tool, the new one is based on a live path effect. So even though it's an LPE, you don't actually have to use the path effects menu. The tool and the icon is still there, but it's completely rewritten. And now what happens is that you can actually attach objects to their centers and also to these connector points that are defined on objects. So for instance, these rectangles have defined points on them, right? Most other objects have centers. Rectangles were the only object that we created default anchors for. But in the future, I could quite easily see stars, for example, having default anchors on their points, or straight lines having anchors on their end nodes, as defaults, I should say. But obviously, one of the things that we want to do is to have custom anchors. That was something that the original connectors tool couldn't have. And this actually has this with this tool. Yep. And you can actually double click on the selected object to give it extra connector points. So you can actually see we can actually make some extra points. It doesn't matter whether they're shapes for flowcharting or they're shapes for engineering. And then when we go back to drawing lines, we should have these extra points and you can connect them up. You can actually connect up any objects to any other objects. They try and do the same kind of avoidance that they had previously. But now we also have a couple of other options. There's the same kind of avoidance and the same kind of orthogonal, but the orthogonal polylines work has been completely rewritten. To act a lot more like Visio would in this particular case. And as you can see there, what just happened is a crash. I've actually caught the crash while I've been recording this video, and I've saved the information so that I can develop a fix for that. It's things like that that actually make it difficult to use, because obviously you can't use a feature that has a lot of crashes in it. So let's see, one step. Let's see if I can show off at least some of the functionality here. Yeah, so these steps can be redefined. I believe this is very much like the Visio functionality. Oh, it crashed again. I'll be right back. Okay, and we're back. Let's not use the orthogonal line editor during this demonstration. There are a couple of other features which are probably worth pointing out. There's easier editing of existing lines, so you can reposition them. There is lines that jump over each other, so you can create a jump. And let's see if I can get this right. Yep. So you can see that it's jumping over there, and you can set it to whether it's a gap or a jump, which I believe is good for editing engineering. You cannot just create lines just anywhere, and that's because they are not just regular lines. The old creator it was just drawing. It was like a pen that would adjust the lines for you whenever you move stuff. This one is a lot more dynamic in that it is actually not really a line, right? The live path effect basically demonstrates what it is, and the live void that it's trying to do, it will try and pick the best paths for you, which is why we needed better avoidance algorithms when we were doing the testing. So yeah, as you can see, this piece of functionality, there's a lot here, and it's certainly a lot better than the one that we're currently shipping in Inkscape. But unfortunately, it's nowhere near stable enough, if I would say, for production use. So yeah, thank you for watching this video, and apologies for the crashes.